Hello everybody, it's the end of May, 31st of May, and these small ash trees that I've been growing were repotted back in April. I did it off camera. I don't know why I didn't film it, I just didn't. And just to give you an idea of the size and scale of these little trees, that's a full-size soft drinks can if you're a new viewer. I just want to pinch some of these out. I've already pinched out a couple. Basically these are already starting to elongate and throw out leaves that are a little bit too big, so I'm just going to pinch out the growing tip and gradually the leaves will reduce on these trees. This one was better last year than it is this. It's a lot more vigorous this year, possibly because it was repotted and it was quite root bound. It took me quite a while to get it out of this belly pot, but it's responding really well. So I'm basically just going to be nipping out all the new growths and not letting them extend, because obviously I don't want this tree to grow any bigger. Possibly the end of next month I might even defoliate to try and get some smaller leaves. So as these shoots, which are just starting to pop on the ends of these branches here, begin to swell, I will be pinch and keep at it. It's the main thing if you want to keep them small. This one, again, it was repotted back in April. It's shooting out quite nicely. I do want this one to grow a little bigger, so I'm not going to be doing the same with this one. I'm in two minds about keeping this branch, or whether I keep this fork, or whether I take off one and let the branch elongate. I'm going to leave it a little while longer. This is a timey-wimey video again, so we will see as I develop this tree. This head wants to come up some more, so I'm not going to do anything to that one apart from remove this annoying weed that's already popped into the pot. Okay. This one I featured on Instagram. I've already pinched it out, and I shall, as I say, continue to pinch. In fact, this one I'm going to chop back a little harder, like so. Yeah, and again I will continue to pinch to try and build a head on this rather nice little trunk. The only thing is I have this odd branch that's bothering me. This is my front, and this branch kind of comes out and across, and I hesitated in removing it during the repotting, but I've decided now to lose it. It was too close to this one anyway. We'll see what else pops. Okay, and the final tree in this little group of 4 small ash, and I just wanted to see if you could make an ash into a small size bonsai. Most of the books and the websites and things say ash are only good for medium to large trees, because the leaves don't small, the leaves don't shrink or reduce in size. But I found that individuals will, and some are better at it than others. This one is shrunk down really nicely. It has a very interesting and very strange, some would say, a root base, but I like it. And again, if you're new, you won't know that I say this all the time. If you're a long-term viewer, roll your eyes and touch, but I'm going to say it, I have to look at them every day. You only have to look at them once in a blue moon while I'm watering. So yeah, so ash, and again I'm just going to pinch out the growing tips before they elongate too far, and just try and keep building this rather nice head with these lovely short and small compound leaves. It's the 12th of June today, and I'm doing a bit of work on these small ash bonsai. They are growing and responding, and I'm just going to cut out the growing tips on some of these where they are beginning to extend, just like so. What I don't want is them putting out great long growths, which would obviously look silly, and yeah, so it's just a case of constantly pinching really. The leaves have come down on most of these quite nicely. You compare them to a full-size tree, it's quite impressive how much they will come down in leaf size. So that's basically it. It'll be an ongoing process, keep pinching and not letting any extensions extend, as it were, but just hopefully pop a few more buds here and there. This one's a little sparse. Tree number 2, this is a slightly different kettle of fish, and I just think I ought to put it in the can for scale, just to give you a notion of, again, how small these are in terms of the notion that you should grow ash as large trees because of these pinnate leaves. But I've never fully subscribed to the you should, as opposed to let's try something. If it doesn't harm anyone or anything, I mean, there are certain aspects of science where, you know, I will follow rules. Don't put your hand in the volcano. Okay, fine, I'll not put my hand in the volcano. But you know what I'm trying to say, I guess. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But this tree's got a rather nice chunky lump at the base here, and this quite interesting movement that's grown over a number of years. I think these were grown from seed 8 years ago, 7 years ago, and they were constantly grown on, pinched, grown on, pinched, to get this kind of taper. Again, this tree has now reached a stage where I want to try and create a canopy, and so it's just going to be pinch, pinch, pinch. In fact, I'm going to cut this back to this bud that's popped here, and we'll see how it responds. There is a bud there, trust me. This is the one with a very strange nabari. Looks like it's suffered a bit of I don't know, flooding, erosion. That's how it's working in my head, at any rate. We have got a better canopy with this tree. If I move the camera back slightly, you'll see what I mean. And again, the leaves have come down in size really rather nicely. But I'm just going to stop these extensions from extending any further, if that makes sense. So I'm literally just cutting out that growing point before it extends further. And in fact, I'm going to have to come back to this tree from time to time over the next week or two, because some of them haven't extended that far enough yet that I can cut that piece out. There we go. And then the last one in this little group and in some ways a more conventional looking tree. We have a fairly conventional Nebario, though we do have a root that kind of wraps around here. Again, not conventional, but I like it. And then we have a fairly conventional trunk. This piece was chopped, and then, as I say, these were grown from seeds, and they've been chopped repeatedly. I'm just going to be nipping out these tips as I did with that other one, and we will see how the tree reacts, hopefully with lots more shoots. This piece I think could come back a little, so I'm going to wrap a little piece of wire around it, if I can find a little piece of wire. Reduce, reuse, recycle and all that. Use a piece that I have used before. That should be long enough. This is almost a T-bar here, and again it would be considered a no-no in a show bonsai, but I'm the one who looks at these all the time, and I like it, and I just want this branch to come out towards the rear of the tree a little more, to make it a little bit more three-dimensional. That would be considered an appalling piece of wiring, and I would definitely get thrown out of bonsai school. But it's very loose, and it shouldn't cut in for quite a while, and obviously that's desirable, not to have it cut in for the health of the tree more than for the looks, or at least as much as for the looks. And by wiring that back like that, it looks like slightly less of a T branch now. Going to remove that leaf, or most of it, because it's kind of obscuring the trunk. Same with that. That's better. Okay, so a quick 360. And we'll call it a day with these. It's the 25th of June, and maybe leaving it a little bit late, but I'm going to do some leaf pruning on these ash, and I just want to cut them back and hopefully get them to sprout out some more ramifications. I'm not going to remove all the leaves. I'm going to cut the leaves, well, not quite in half. I'm going to cut them so they have 2 leaves left. And of course, these look like individual leaves, but they are in fact compound leaves. So the whole thing makes one leaf, as it were. So I'm in a sense cutting them in half, but hopefully the reduced leaf mass will convince the tree that, well, I don't know, it's been eaten by a goat or something, and therefore needs to throw out some new shoots and new leaves to photosynthesize some more. So yeah, so that's the process. So I'm going to do that to all the trees in this little group, and we'll see how they go. There we go. We'll come back and visit these later in the year and see how they've responded. Okay, so it's the 17th of September and the trees are just, well, they haven't responded quite as well as I would have hoped. Let me show you this one at the back. I bring it out. This one's shot out a bunch of new shoots, but not as many and not in as, you know, well as I would have liked, but I don't know how well. Let's see if you can see that. What they are doing is setting next year's buds, and they've set a lot of buds for next year, so it will need a bit of thinning out possibly over winter, but I think I'm going to get the ramification I was hoping to get this year next year. So I've got sort of buds popping here and here and here and here. Some of them are definitely going to be in the wrong place and will need to be rubbed out, but all the trees have done reasonably well, bar this one. Which is kind of sulked and stalled, but maybe next year, we shall see. Lots of time, and as I say, lots of interesting new budding, so something to work with over winter, reducing some of that, keeping the ones I want to keep, and losing the ones that are going to be unwanted and in the wrong places. So once again, thank you so much for watching. It really is appreciated. Please, please, please do take care of yourselves, people. Stay safe, everybody.